Hey guys, it is April 27th through May 1st. We're at it again another week, and guess what? It's already May. So this week you're going to feel it's going to pump up a little bit more. You have a lot more to do. And I pretty much have the whole month planned for you. So let's get ready to tackle this. Woo, look at that. That's a lot of work there, friends. Okay, so crap test. Can't get over that name. I can't wait for you to see my lovely tutorial. You're gonna watch that, and then you're gonna fill out the worksheet. So the tutorial takes you through how to fill out that worksheet. Okay, so I put write in the document. Some of us are still resisting writing in the document. Please write in the document. I need you to write in it. It's much easier, it's cleaner to submit unless there are computer technical issues. And when I say some, I mean like one or two people have been submitting photos, but I need you to write in the document and then you just submit it. Much easier, and it's easier to follow the instruction when you write stuff in the document. Okay. The second thing that you're going to do is read the What is Processed Food article. So I'm uploading 2 pages of information on processed food. It's not overly complex. It's a little dense. When I say dense, kind of like it's a lot of informative text. So it's a very informative tone. That's all good, but it's actually really interesting. So it's not too long. It's only 2 pages, and the type's really big. So there you go. And I have some worksheet, and it's kind of getting you to practice paraphrasing because paraphrasing is going to help you prevent from plagiarizing, right? Because the problem with informative texts that you're going to see in this little article that I gave you is that you're gonna want to copy down word for word what the article says and then put it in your worksheet. And I'm smiling as I'm saying this. That's very middle school, yeah. It's also plagiarism, and if you do that because you just want to slap it, put it together, and get it done, I'm gonna have to give it a 0. Also in college, and I'm scaring you because I need you guys to stop doing that. And I've memorized this article because I've actually given this article a couple times. So if I see that you're not following the paraphrasing instructions, then I can't give you credit for it. So make sure that you really think about it. So if you're like, wow, it's just answering questions. Well, it's a little bit trickier, right? Because you're in high school now and you're training to write you're training to write using sources, so writing to and from sources. So it's harder to do, right? You can't just copy it and put it down there because once again, that's plagiarizing, also known as stealing. Yeah. Okay, moving it along. I've had a coffee. Can you tell? Anyway, so that's that worksheet. Once again, do it in there. And then Friday, May 1st, your reflection worksheet. So this one is just kind of taking inventory. You're going by each writing genre. You'll know what that means when you look at the document, and you're going to see that there's each item that we've done, and I gave you a description of it too. Okay, if the descriptions still don't make sense, fill in the reflection, saying like, oh, I'm not sure what this means, because I need to know kind of where you're at in terms of each writing genre. When I say genre, I mean type. I need to know where you're at in terms of each writing genre. So just be honest. There's nothing wrong with missing one or what have you. And know that I do have some of your writing samples because you submitted it to me through Google Classroom. So if you're like, I don't have it, it's like, no, you do have it. You just gave it to me and I have to return it back to you. So that qualifies as still having it. Okay. And then you're going to write that in your reflection. Like, I have it, but I need Miss Soldania to return it back to me. Okay. All right. And then the last thing is your independent reading. It is due on the 15th. So kind of keep plugging away at that. It's getting intense because it is the month of May. And that's actually how it would feel anyway in a normal month. Usually at the end, we work the hardest because there's a lot. Okay. So it's just a matter of you guys trying to, if you're like, oh, it's already overwhelming. It's not a feeling that's a normal feeling during this time. So it's just a matter of like taking a deep breath and really managing your time. And I know that some people, when they panic and they freak out and it feels like too much, then they just do nothing. Don't do that. Don't do that. That's the worst thing you can do. Okay. Just take it day by day. Right. And so you might want to work on maybe 2 items. I'm looking at what I have for you this week. These 3 items should take you about, I would say like an hour. okay, the most two, you can knock all three out in 2 hours. And I honestly don't think it's going to take you 2 hours. Okay. So, like, kind of see it in that way. But all you really need to do is dedicate one day to this class. That's it. Okay. I think Thursdays are the best because usually everything's due. Actually, everything is due on Friday. Okay. All right. Same as always, my office hours. Some people are still getting kind of impatient with me if I don't respond to them, and it's like 5 o'clock. Normally, that's when I start to kind of get my dinner situation figured out. So while I'm cooking, I can't respond to you because I already cut myself, and I currently have a bruised toe that I may have fractured, but it didn't swell today, so we'll see how that goes. So I do have to set these boundaries because I got to tend to my accident prone self, and I've got to feed myself and my husband. Also, Newsella, next week you're going to have an assignment on Newsella. So if you're not signed up this week, and it's still on the announcements page, I did not take it down. It's on the announcements page. Notice how I said that again. The announcements page of your Google Classroom. Next week you will have to, no matter if you like it or not, join in. Actually, I think you will like Newsella. I'm excited about it. So next week I'm really excited about because everything that I have for you is on 2 different digital platforms. One Newsella and another one Nearpod. But that one's really easy. So don't stress about that other one that I just mentioned. So next week's kind of fun. Yeah, stay on top of your weekly responses. These are actually going to fade out. So I actually wouldn't worry about too much about this one. And then the last thing is look at your portfolios. And start it. I would say if you're like, all right, I got all my work done. What else do I do? If you're eager beaver and you're like, I feel like I want to start working on this. And after you get that reflection, you're like, I just want to kind of start putting it together. I say more power to you. Do it. Just kind of like little by little, despacito, get it together, right? And so I strongly recommend just, open a doc, maybe put 1 or 2 pieces together that you have, or maybe you start working on a poem, or you just at minimum make a list of all the books that you read. Whoa, that takes like a hot minute, right? Not even. You can just type out my list of books, put a flower on it, whatever you need to do. Or I don't know, some kind of visual image. You guys did really well with the images for food, so I know you can do that. I have no worries that you can do that. Okay. So, start kind of putting it together. And then Zoom check-ins, same thing. Always Friday, 1 p.m. I will give you the link 5 minutes before. And if you have any issues, like as stuff's getting more complicated, that's a great time to join in because then you can, if someone has a question, normally that question is yours. And it's kind of nice to get that answered live in person versus through Remind. Sometimes it's just a little bit easier. And you guys tend to explain things better than I do, so I do appreciate that. Okay, so that's kind of where we're at. And then finally, I'm going to show you, that's for this week, the crop test worksheet, processed food worksheet, which has you work on paraphrasing. So take your time with that. And then your portfolio reflection. But I'm going to show you this last section. I mentioned this on the Zoom call last Friday. The 25th through the 29th, I'm giving you a whole week to put that portfolio together. So if you're like, oh my gosh, how are we going to put that together? It's too much. You're going to have a week to get all those pieces and make it look nice and pretty. Okay. So if you're wondering what the game plan is for that, that's what we're looking at. All right, team. Okay. That was a lot, but all good stuff. Love you tons. And if you have any questions, concerns, of course, you're going to text me, right? But I guess we'll look forward to it next week. And then I'll see you on Zoom if you join Zoom. Okay. All right. Have a great week and check in with me.